Live from beautiful Ohio, it's the OK Boomer podcast, featuring siblings, the real Jean and Laura.
Hello, hello. I'm Jean.
And I am Laura. And we are here to encourage all you boomers, millennials, and everyone to be happily okay together. Well, here we go. These weeks just fly by so quickly. How are you?
I'm great. We are happily okay together. And I'd like to start off with a little thought. Okay. My inner peace is my power.
Oh.
My inner peace is my power.
I like that. And I especially like that because I was listening to the Fit Strong Women Over 50, and they were talking about yoga. That was a great episode if people want to listen.
Oh, I do want to.
And it all kind of gets me in that mindset of, right, your inner peace is your power. Yes. I really like that.
Right. Our inner peace is our power. And if I remember, I found a very good Christian yoga series. I will send that to you.
Oh, please
on YouTube.
do.
It's very good.
That would be encouraging.
Right. So we're starting off positively. We're feeling positive. I think I should tell our friends we're feeling positive. We also feel like we have a big jumble of ideas this time.
Oh, we do.
Big jumble of ideas. So we're going to do our best to sort it out. But we're pretty pumped out.
We are.
We may have inner peace on the inside, but we're ready to...
Our boomer brains are banging.
Oh, that's
Maybe
well said.
Like
no,
that.
I like that. I
okay.
like that. All right. So last podcast, I mentioned really liking ice cream.
Yes. And it is summer.
And it's a hot summer right now.
Oh, it is.
Perfect ice
hot
cream.
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah.
So I said ice cream was really like a guiding word for me. Now, my husband and I get it about twice a month, I'd say. We stop by. We like Culver's right now.
Really? Just twice a month? You don't have ice cream every night?
No. But a couple of times a month.
Okay.
Now, I am just entranced by the new flavors. If they have a flavor of the month, if they have a flavor of the day, if it's a new flavor, a limited flavor. Love all the flavors. I try all the flavors.
Good for you.
Whether I get it in ice cream or like, mixed up like a blizzard.
Okay.
My OH.
Yes.
Same flavor every time.
Truly every time?
Every time.
No variation?
No variation.
Is it vanilla or chocolate?
It's vanilla with Heath toffee candy mixed in.
Oh, that does sound good.
Oh, it is. I'm sure it is.
But
good.
never a Butterfinger. It's always the Heath.
Right. Never a Reese's piece.
Wow.
What about you? Would you change flavors? Or are you pretty much a one flavor gal?
I have my few that are my go-tos. I like mint chocolate chip with hot fudge.
Oh, yes.
And then I like, of course, we've discussed this before, it's an old person's flavor, butter pecan.
Oh, but it's that tangy, that salt and the sweet.
Yeah. And then my latest love, I may have talked about this, I believe it's Haagen-Dazs, has a pecan bourbon flavor.
Oh, that one.
Oof. I can eat a whole pint in one night. That
sounds good. Oh, so you're eating it at home. You're not going out to get ice cream.
Rarely.
Oh.
Unless we go to the lake or something. Yeah. We have all our little pint-sized ice creams in the freezer. It's a nightly ritual.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it maybe shouldn't be, but
wow. Lucky you.
Yeah, it's summer.
So speaking of our OHs, the other day I was still up at the lake and he texted me.
Okay, which OHs do.
Yes, he said that he started off by saying he had a busy day to report.
Oh, wow. I can only imagine. What all did he do?
He did a load of wash.
Okay.
And he even changed the bed too. So that is very nice.
Bonus points for that.
Very nice.
Very nice.
He picked up our food order, our grocery food order.
Okay.
And he ran the dishwasher.
Oh, like put the little...
Yeah, tell him. Said it. Yes.
And?
That was his busy day.
But of course it
was.
I'm
a merry homemaker, so I'm just saying that. Won't comment, just leave it there for you to...
We will leave it
mull
there.
over.
Okie dokie.
Now, one more question about OHs between you and me.
Yeah.
How is your OH at listening to you? Now, I find that if I'm talking about something that really pertains to our household or something we really have to do, or like, don't forget we're going to a graduation party, or he listens to that.
All right.
Or should we buy this month, or should we?
Right.
Something that really relates to the home. If I have something more in my mind, like I've just read a book that really moves me and I want to share a piece of it with him.
Okay.
I can start to say that.
Right.
What I care about, what I want to say to him. And then his first answer will be something like that. Like, oh, look out, the sunset's hazy.
Yeah. I wish I could say I cannot relate at all. And maybe I do this back to him. But more than many, many times, I will say in full agreement, right, and I do tend to prattle. Me.
No, I don't think so.
I can jabber quite a bit. But in the middle of my jabbering, I'll suddenly hear, oh my gosh, look at that deer. And be like,
right, or they're scrolling through their Facebook.
Right, and suddenly they're commenting on something that has nothing to do with...
I know, and then you're like...
It just goes to show you we should all really listen to each other.
Oh, yes.
I may do the same thing.
Something to think about.
It is.
That's just one of these things that's bubbling up in our thoughts this time.
Talk about it.
Couple book thoughts. Surprise. I have a couple book thoughts.
Shocking.
I just read a review of, it's a nonfiction book, and I like the title, which was Meet Me at the Fountain. Ooh. Meet Me at the Fountain. What do you think that book would be about?
Well, you said nonfiction, but I'm picturing something like the fountains in Italy or some fabulous European fountain.
Right, and if you still want to continue this relationship, meet me at the fountain.
Right, like somebody's true life love story.
Yes, and they go and they're looking and he's not there, and then suddenly
he appears at the fountain.
That's beautiful. Good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, so Meet Me at the Fountain is a book. It's nonfiction about malls in America, their development, our love affair or hate affair with malls in America.
I would never have guessed
And I thought that was good, Meet Me at the Fountain, because in their heyday, it's probably true. Most had a fountain or some kind of
water
gathering place that was spectacular, and your friends would... Well, I guess we didn't text back then. We would call.
You'd literally have to say, meet me at the fountain.
Or when you're getting off the bus after school, meet me at the fountain. So I love that name. It reminded me of those years of going around with your buddies. Now, our mall, our local mall, opened up in 1965.
Wow.
So we were both youngest, believe it or not.
Well, we were very little.
You were real little.
That.
So do you have a memory of the mall? And then we'll...
You know, I actually do. I have a memory every Sunday, believe it or not, all you millennials, the malls were closed except for eateries. And we, every Sunday after church, would go to Harvest House Cafeteria.
Yes.
In fact, well, I shouldn't share this. One time we brought our own silverware.
Oh, well.
Because we didn't trust the silverware, we literally brought our own from home. But anyway, we would have lunch after church and then we would wander the mall, but we had to window shop because nothing was open on Sunday. And there was a shop called Baker's. They were a shoe store. Always had a love of shoes. And there was this one pair of shoes, Jean, that had two buckles and I can remember right where they were. And I would just really... yearn.
And you were little, huh? And you
6 or 7, 8. Yeah.
Already that shoe shopping.
Never got those shoes.
Clicked in. Well, I hope to read the book and maybe we can, malls might be fun to talk about a little more. And I actually was going to talk about newspapers next, but I'm going to save that for another time.
Right.
And roll right into, you and I get along perfectly.
We do. Like peas and carrots.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We really do. We get along great, but we almost came to blows. Maybe not blows.
No,
but it was
not blows, but there were a few tense moments, let me tell you.
Yes, and it was all to do with Instagram.
Yeah. Darn, all millennials are so good at it.
Yeah, so we thought we were going to focus a little more on our Instagramming.
Right.
That's fine.
Seemed like a simple thing.
And we thought one way to do it would be if I also signed into our OK Boomer account on Instagram. Again.
Fine. Now, I might interject here quickly. I have a fellow who works for us part-time to help us, and I was trying to explain how to get into it, and he kept saying, I'm trying, and I just can't seem to do it, and he tried to get a new password, but it was sent to the proper place, but I just couldn't find it, so he so sweetly tried.
But it was a big right. So
Probably
then
a month ago.
We tried to, and we finally actually did solve it, but it was a lot tenser than I would have thought. But anyhow, here we are, and it's something funny to share.
Yes,
something funny to share.
We're gonna get better at Instagram. We promise. Reels will be a whole new.
Yeah, if anybody knows about
story
that,
and reels. That's
the
scary.
Virginia. Grab your partner for the Virginia reel. Okay. Last thing on my list, but this has been a big topic for us lately. Dresses.
Oh, it has. Because the search continues for the perfect mother of the bride dress.
Yeah, but you're closing in on it.
Maybe.
I think you're closing in on it. Noticed a lot of prairie-looking things.
Many prairie.
What's with that?
Well, it's just the whole new style now. But everything is right. It's kind of peasant-y, smocked, prairie long dresses. Now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was sort of tempted to try one. My wonderful millennial daughter, my oldest one, was wearing a beautiful prairie dress that she got from Pink Lily. Actually.
Do they call them prairie dresses?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we're thinking of that from the 70s.
Just a very pretty floral dress. She looked lovely. We brought her with us on one of those mother of the bride, mother of the groom trips. Well, the mother of the groom said, Renee, are you okay? Because she could see her dress was getting choked into the escalator. Could have been a bad accident.
Could have been.
That could have been it for the bride. But luckily, she was saved. We got her out. But the dress had all kinds of black grease at the bottom. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I ended up, she got another one because they were on sale. I ended up working my tail off to get this black grease out, which I used Goo Gone.
Yeah. Oh, good
And
idea.
I used Shout, and I used salt, kosher salt.
Oh, my.
And I rubbed it all and worked on it. Got it pretty darn out. I was very proud of myself. So then I said, well, now I have this dress because she already ordered another one. I will see how I look in today's cute prairie dresses. So I put it on. My OH looked at me and he just quickly said, no. I did look silly. I just
really, it just did.
Yeah, that millennials can pull it off. Boomers, I'm suggesting we don't try. Just not a good look.
All right, now I'll have to come over and try that dress on.
Well,
I'm going to turn it over to you. Speaking of, I'll go try that dress on.
Oh,
So go on. It's your turn. How was your week?
and yes, you were going to try that dress on. I don't know if you're hinting that I should talk about dresses more, but
No,
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
My little brain. If
That was my weird segue.
If that was a segue, I didn't take it very well. All right, first, couple of things. I don't get texts very often from my son, who celebrated his first Father's Day, which is very exciting because he's got the little baby. Very proud of him.
Oh, and 4th of July is coming too.
Yes,
so shout out to that.
Shout out to the 4th in our
Father's
country.
Day and 4th of July, yes.
Yes. So he texted a little group of us in the family because they hadn't really heard of these expressions and wondered if we knew them. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you know what it means to cross the Rubicon?
Well, I've heard of that. These are old timey.
These are old timey.
So I think it's like once you've done it, you can't go back.
You can never go back. Like once you've made a decision or done something, you can't
Some
go back.
things you cannot.
You just can't
unring
undo.
The bell.
Right, the old unring the bell. And that was with good old Caesar way back when.
Yeah.
Across this Rubicon River. Okay.
Caesar was probably a go-getter. We're going to hopefully have time to talk about go-getters.
We hopefully
I would
will.
think he would be a go-getter.
He's a go-getter.
An early
I'm
go-getter.
sure of it.
All right.
Now, gild the lily.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
Well,
what that
that's
means?
probably like you and your dresses. How could we? There's no way to make you more beautiful.
Exactly.
You're already beautiful.
That's it.
No need to gild the lily. Work on something else.
They didn't know what that meant, I guess. Right. It means you can't make something
That's already beautiful.
It's already perfect and beautiful.
Leave it be. So we'll leave you be. Wear what you want.
Yeah, I'll just wear what I want. Right, Jean. You're so good for me. All right, now here's a question for all of you to ponder out there, listeners. Would you allow someone to put over 100 cockroaches in your home for 30 days if they paid you $2,000?
No, absolutely not.
That's how I feel.
I mean, you would never get rid of them.
Well, here's the deal. A company called the Pest Informer, they're out of Raleigh, North Carolina, is asking homeowners for $2,000 they will pay you if they could put over 100 cockroaches in your house for 30 days because they want to try out experimental ways to get rid of cockroaches.
Well,
Good
I
for
get
them.
it for science, yes.
Yeah. I mean, $2,000 is tempting, but I don't want cockroaches in my bed.
Well, you would never, you'd be there forever.
Yeah, but
Right.
supposedly they feel confident in their products that can get rid of them. Interesting marketing and interesting way to test your products.
Oh, I'd be interested to hear what other people think.
Yeah. Would you do that?
Not for, it would take a lot more money than that.
Yeah. Million maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I was all excited. We like to sip our coffee and watch the Today Show in the morning.
Great.
Little morning ritual. So the other day I was so excited because they were talking about the Cheeto diet. And I thought, I love Cheetos. So I made Gordy pause it because, I had to brush my teeth and all that stuff. Got my cup of coffee. We hustled back to listen to the Cheeto diet. Well, much to my dismay, of course, they were talking about the keto diet.
Oh, you heard it.
And I heard it as Cheeto.
Must have been hungry for Cheetos.
I must have been. It was before my hearing aids were in. I was so disappointed. But I still think maybe I could devise my own Cheeto diet. What do you think?
Speaking of keto, what did we have for breakfast this morning?
That's true. I had my first keto breakfast bowl. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes, zucchini, steak, little cut up flank steak, and 2 eggs.
Some
all mixed
spinach,
in.
I
Some
think.
spinach. Felt like it was very good and healthy.
It was good.
Yeah. No Cheetos, but good.
Right.
All right.
What else is going on?
Couple other things for you to think about. I have, of course, my little grandson that I love to walk around, and we've had extremely hot days, and we've also had some cool days. Now, here's my observation. On a cool day, this was last Friday, all the little kids, and they're like 2 and 3, went outside and they had a whole splash of water day. To myself, I would have thought it was a little chilly, high 60s to 70, to be splashing in water, but they all seem fine. I feel like little kids have no idea what temperature is. And yesterday, it was like 95.
It was. Yeah.
Hot, humid, steamy. My grandson and I take this little path every day outside, and he always likes to run up the one hill. And I said, I can't run today. It's too hot. But he was running away.
Hey, and you could...
I could barely move one step slowly in this oppressive heat. And yet, in his little 2-year-old way, he was just running.
He never said,
Never said I'm hot or can we slow down. No. So I feel like kids have a different body temperature.
Good for them, or they're just not even thinking about it.
Yes, and I thought, could I be more like that? Could I be like,
Oh, I
I'll
like
just
that.
run through the sprinkler in 65-degree weather and it would be refreshing. I don't know.
You'd have to wear a sweater, wouldn't you?
No, I feel I'm so picky about my temperatures, and yet.
Well, that's the thing when we go anywhere. Like you brought a sweater to breakfast.
Yes,
because the air conditioning might have been cold.
It just wasn't quite my 72. So,
Yeah, even though it's hot.
So maybe in my old boomer age, I need to get a little more relaxed with temperatures. Just a thought.
All right. Anything else?
Last thing I'm going to mention, I heard about an app this week, and it was one of my millennials mentioned it. And they said, oh yeah, I'm caught up on all my news because I listened to Autumn.
How do you spell that?
I was at first thinking of one of our dear friends.
Or
whose
even
name is
this-
Autumn,
or
or even
the-
the season.
Yeah.
But it's AUDM, Autumn. And it's an
Autumn.
app. And the New York Times just bought it out. But they have articles from various big newspapers, Vanity Fair, The New Yorker, The Atlantic, etc., that you can just get today's news articles and you listen to it. Kind of like Audible or books.
Oh, do you think you'd like that?
I don't know. Haven't tried it, but I'm just trying to keep us all up to
I
date.
will check that out. Sounds interesting.
Yes,
interesting.
we have to be doing what the young people are talking
Well,
about.
sure.
There you go.
Well, our bigger topic, which may even take another podcast, because we really had a lot of thoughts on this, but we're
Yes.
going to explore the idea of go-getter. And I think we came up with this idea of a go-getter because at one point you were saying recently, I'm just not a go-getter. I think you said something like that.
Yes.
I guess I'm not a go-getter.
Yes. I think it's partly because there's two giant realtor signs with other realtors at both entrances of my development. And I realized if I was a go-getter, those would be my pictures.
Yeah, so you
But
thought
it's
I'm
not.
not quite a go-getter. So we decided to explore this a little bit because now that's a term we use, go-getter. To me, it means what? It means someone who plunged full speed ahead, always thinking what they could do, always trying to
Right.
top everybody else. Probably it's more like a contest, like you're
Yes,
out there
extremely
grabbing everything you can grab.
aggressive and yes, just at the top of their game all the time.
Do you think your millennials that you asked see it the same way?
Somewhat, but they were not very familiar with the term go-getter.
Okay.
So I guess that's more of a boomer term. I don't know. They said they see it more as highly ambitious and a hustler.
Maybe hustler I could see. Highly ambitious. I think you and I were both that. We just weren't, or we still have time.
We do have time.
All right. We just aren't go-getters. Here's, I read a quote,
Yes.
of course, in a book.
Yes.
I read a quote in a book. I'm going to actually have asked my listener friends if they know which book.
Oh, a little contest.
Yeah, a little contest.
No prize, but a
Oh,
contest.
there might be a prize, but, contact me on social media, or I'll ask one day if you know what this quote's from. And this quote really related to me because I think I am more the slow and steady person. Slow and steady.
Wins the race.
Wins the race. Slow and steady. And do your best. We were raised by greatest generation parents. Totally, I think, hammered into us. You do your best. You try your hardest. You don't want to disappoint the family. You do
Right.
your best.
Right.
So with all that in mind, here's the quote that really stuck with me.
Okay.
Two ways to kind of say it. One is the race is long. To finish first you must finish. Or you could say if you want to finish first you have to finish. Which means it doesn't do any good to, I guess how I look at it is you could be a go-getter, try real hard for the first lap. Whereas I'm thinking more the long term, more like the Bible says. I want to fight the good fight. I want to finish the race. I want to live a good life.
Yes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, and maybe there's nothing wrong with being a go-getter and running each lap or driving each lap or whatever the contest is or living your life hard.
Right. It's just a different way of seeing it. I am probably more with this, right? I want to make sure that I finish and finish well.
Right. And you can't be first unless you do finish.
Right. You got to finish.
Right.
Before you could ever be first.
Yeah. Or if you're maybe a go-getter, you think, no, I finished the first couple races. I did great.
We'll see what comes from there.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. So if you know what book this is from, it was from a big bestseller a while ago, but a big bestseller.
Well, that's a big clue.
Yeah. Kind of.
I would never know, so I will not probably be participating in that guess, but I bet you some of your readers know.
All right.
That seems like a Jeopardy question.
Oh.
Ooh.
So what is that's, I guess I was trying to lay the groundwork for how I think of my life. I'm going to finish the race.
Right. And right, I probably see finishing my life as a wonderfully balanced life.
All right.
But I'm not sure that's a go-getter's way of thinking.
Right.
Now, I've got a lot of things written all over the place, Jean. Don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
There's a whole go-getter mentality, which may take more time, but we may start on that.
Oh, let's start. Go-getter mentality.
And then I've got a bunch of go-getter quotes, but I don't know if I have time.
Oh, I think you do. Please start with
All right.
that. What's the mentality?
So the go-getter mentality, and I was going to print it, but there were 36 pages. I didn't have that much go-getter mentality in me. But the main thing is, like, they have a tenacity, they take initiative, and what I saw was a little different from just working hard. They say it has very little to do with intelligence, creativity, or luck. They mostly rely, where a lot of people might say, well, they were brought up by parents who were go-getters and they knew the right people, or they were just lucky to have been at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
They're saying true go-getters create all this for themselves. It is not who knows them, but who they deliberately go out and intentionally meet.
Wow.
So they are not kind of waiting around for someone to notice them. A big part of their life is they're constantly on the lookout for people that they need to go meet and get to know. And I don't think I've ever done that.
No.
I mean, I might have at a dinner thought it'd be a good idea to get to know that person, but...
Well, let's face it, we have business cards, and we still have business
Right,
cards. We can't even pass out business cards.
Number 2, it is not luck. I've always kind of thought it was a combination. But they're saying true gutters, not gutters, true go-getters just take advantage of every opportunity that comes along, good or bad. They don't really care. They just have a way of looking at each opportunity as a challenge, figuring it out, and moving on to the next.
That sounds so tiring and stressful.
Well, I feel like go-getters are exhausted.
Right.
But I think they get their energy from that.
I do want to hear some of your examples of people. So
Yes.
is this a good time to do that?
It
Or
probably is. And I guess the main thing with go-getters is that they're just very intentional. It's not luck. You don't have to be the smartest person. You just are very intentional and purposeful with all your actions.
That I respect. I respect that. So who would be a go-getter in your mind?
Well, I tell you, I got a list, and I'm going to say a few quotes that they
Well,
have.
I think one thing top of the list is the father of your kids.
Yes, and I will not say this person's name, but he truly is a go-getter.
And a successful,
Very
thoughtful person
successful,
too.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
All
the good things.
All the good things, but it took a lot of work.
A lot.
I mean, a lot of work. It certainly is not easy. So yes, shout out to my children's dad.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well done.
All right, I'll name a few. Henry Ford.
Well, yeah.
And
when you come up with something, pretty
it
original.
works. Some of these I'll say their quote quickly. His was, do more for the world than the world does for you. That is success.
Huh.
I know. Different ways
Like
to
that. Like
Oprah.
that. Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Right?
I said that right, correct?
Mm-hmm.
John Rockefeller. His quote was, don't be afraid to give up. I can't read my writing. The good.
Okay.
To go for the great. Oh, don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great.
I could
So I can relate to that. You kind of get cozy in I have a good life, but do I want that great life? And it's kind of scary to leave that.
Right. Good point.
Also scary to read my handwriting. All right. Estee Lauder. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. Yeah, you got to work. Thomas Edison. He's a good one.
He's a really good example, I think, because he's a scientist and he was also a business person and developer. And
yes, he did a lot, obviously. And he said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work.
Well, see, that would,
And
great.
I would probably fall into
applause.
the failure mode, but you have to look at every failure as something to
Yeah, especially
Figure out.
side.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I would say
he's a go-getter.
Right.
From
our hometown.
From our hometown, Akron, Ohio. You betcha.
But very successful, totally works hard, whatever you want it. I mean,
yes.
Very talented, works hard. Yeah.
Then I have Anita Roddick. I'll probably stop with her. She is the CEO and she started the Body Shop, the cosmetics body shop.
Yeah.
And I liked her quote.
All right.
If you think you are too small to have an impact in this world.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times they do.
Yeah. What would I do?
She said,
yeah.
try going to bed with one mosquito.
Oh, that's really good.
Isn't that good?
That's really good. Oh gosh, there's nothing more annoying. That's really good.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's a good introduction to go-getters, and maybe I'd like to keep thinking about this.
I would too.
Because I think it's something that joins us all together, millennials and Gen Zers, and we're just getting started.
And even as boomers here with kind of second careers.
Yes.
And what do we want to do for the next 30 years? Let's be go-getters.
Right. And the world's kind of crazy, although, yeah.
Well,
so
make a note of it, because I want to talk about what I wore the other day that made me feel like a go-getter.
Oh, right. Okay. Write that
I'll
down for
save
next
that
week.
for next time. In the meantime, we always thank Pat at Speak Up Talk Radio. She somehow makes us sound better than we are. And you can find us at okboomerpod.com or Twitter and Instagram at OK_boomerpod. And we're now on YouTube. What are we? OK Boomer Podcast?
I think so.
We are on Unitube, as
there
the
you
young
go.
people say. YouTube. All righty. That's all I have, Jean.
Love y'all. Toodles!
Be sure to come back to beautiful Ohio and the OK Boomer podcast. To listen to previous episodes or to drop us a line, visit okboomerpod.com.